Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Jerusalem and Washington are negotiating the scope and targets that will be struck in Iran over the Islamic Republic's blatant attack against Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav stresses that Israel has more surprises in the barrel in the war versus Iran and its proxies. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei praises Hamas for the atrocities it committed on October 7th of last year. Israel faces Iran's regional terror proxies while its defense establishment is preparing to mount a direct retaliatory strike against the Islamic Republic in the next several days. On the Gaza front, the IDF made some significant progress in deepening its operational successes, destroying countless subterranean installations and eliminating dozens of Hamas terror operatives in the southern and central Gaza Strip. Moreover, the IDF announced that in a complex operation coordinated between Israel, the United States, and other international actors, a 21-year-old Yazidi woman who was held captive in the Gaza Strip was rescued and returned to her family in Iraq. The Yazidi woman was said to have been taken captive by the Islamic State at the age of 11, after which she was sold to a Hamas terror operative who is affiliated with the Islamic State in the Gaza Strip, where she then was held as a sex slave. After the successful rescue operation, the young woman was returned to her family in Iraq. Meanwhile, it has been cleared for publication that in a targeted elimination, as part of the IDF's operational activities to degrade Hamas's governing hold over the Gaza Strip, Rawhi Mushtaha, head of Hamas's government in the Gaza Strip and a right-hand man of Yahya Sinwar, was killed. Mushtaha, who was regarded as one of the most influential Hamas figures in Gaza, was evidently kept secret for a couple of weeks by the terror group for fear that it would further erode Hamas's ability to convince the population throughout the enclave that it maintains control. Meanwhile, in the northwestern Samaria district of the so-called West Bank, the IDF, in close cooperation with the ISA or Shin Bet, conducted a rare aerial strike of a structure in the city of Tulkarem, where leaders of a number of terror groups congregated. According to an IDF statement, the strike eliminated Yahya Yasser Abed al-Razek Aufi, the head of the Hamas terrorist network in Tulkarem, alongside multiple other significant terrorists, including of Hamas as well as Palestinian Islamic Jihad, who were part of the terror network in Tulkarem, were eliminated. This strike joins a number of significant counterterrorism activities that the IDF and ISA have conducted in northern Judea and Samaria since the start of the war. Turning to Israel's northern front, where Israeli Defense Minister Yoav spoke to field commanders of the IDF's 36th Division, during the course of which he highlighted that in addition to the elimination of Hassan Nasrallah, Israel has more surprises in the barrel for the heavily battered Iranian proxy Hezbollah.
חיזבאללה סופג מכות מאוד קשות, אחת אחרי השנייה. חיסלנו את נסראללה, ויש לנו עוד הפתעות בקנה שחלקם כבר בוצעו וחלקם עוד יבוצעו. מערך הטילים והרקטות שלו ספג מכה קשה מאוד. חלק ניכר, הייתי אומר רוב, מתוך הדבר הזה הושמד. היא תוצאה פעולה מאוד מאוד איכותית ומדויקת. מפקדות שליטה, מערכי קשר, כל צמרת הפיקוד של רדואן, ולמעשה כל הדרג השני והשלישי מתחת נסראללה מחוסלים. הדבר הזה הוא דבר מאוד משמעותי, בנוי על מדויק ותוקף איפה שצריך. במקביל לפעולה הזאת, אנחנו מבצעים היום פעולה במספר כפרים, והתהליך הזה יימשך בכל מקום שצריך, על מנת להשמיד את כל התשתיות שמהם תכנן חיזבאללה לבצע התקפות.
Jerusalem's top defense official went on to praise the operating troops who continue to make significant gains highlighting the fact that the IDF troops are fighting while the communities of northern Israel are visible behind them, granting them overwhelming strength against the enemy.
עכשיו אני רואה את הפעולה של הכוחות. פגשתי את הלוחמים, פגשתי את המפקדים, אני מדבר איתכם ככוח שנמצא בעומק הדברים, והעסק הוא מאוד ברור. יש מאות מחבלים שנהרגו, יש הרבה מאוד אתרים, תת-קרקעיים ועיליים, עם מחסני אמל"ח, עם ציוד ירי, עם רקטות, עם נונטט ועם מערכים שמיועדים על מנת לפגוע באזרחים שלנו. את כל זה אנחנו הולכים לנקות. כל מי שנלחם בתוך השטח רואה בגב שלו את יישובי ישראל ומבין לחלוטין מדוע צריך להגן על יישובי הצפון ולמה הדבר הזה הוא חשוב. וזה נכון לכל רוחב הגזרה, מראש הנקרה ועד מטולה, בכל מקום ומקום. ולכן אנחנו נסיר את האיום הזה ונאפשר את החזרה של האזרחים שלנו בחזרה לבתים שלהם.
The visit by Minister Gallant earlier today came merely several hours after IDF Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi visited the northern front as well, during the course of which he told field commanders of both the 98th and 36th divisions that the IDF will not allow Hezbollah to ever entrench along Israel's northern front in the future.
לאורך כל החג צה"ל ממשיך להילחם בעוצמה בלבנון ובשאר זירות הלחימה. פגשתי היום את מפקדי ולוחמי אוגדה 98 ואוגדה 36 הנלחמים בלבנון למטרה חשובה מאוד, יצירת הביטחון בצפון והחזרת התושבים לבתיהם אחרי יותר משנה שהם מפונים. החזרת התושבים זה להשמיד את תשתיות הטרור שחיזבאללה בנה בסמוך לגבול על מנת שיוכל לפשוט ביום פקודה על יישובינו להרוג אזרחים ישראלים. אנחנו מאוד נחושים להשמיד את התשתיות האלה ולהרוג את מי שנמצא שם. לא נאפשר לחיזבאללה בעתיד להתמקם במקומות האלה.
General Halevi further stressed that the IDF has the upper hand in every encounter in which it faces Hezbollah terrorists. Meanwhile, in Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in a rare Friday sermon, proclaimed that Hezbollah has an Islamic obligation to support the atrocities which Hamas inflicted upon Israel.
هیچ کسی بر اساس هیچ قانون بین المللی حق ندارد به ملت لبنان به حزب الله لبنان اعتراض کنه که چرا شما از غزه از قیام مردم فلسطین حمایت کردید. وظیفه اونهاست، باید میکردن. این دیگه هم حکم اسلامی است، هم قانون عقلی است، هم منطق بین المللی و جهانی است. فلسطینی ها از خاک خودشون دارن دفاع میکنن. دفاع اونها مشروع است، کمک به اونها هم مشروع است.
Khamenei went on to proclaim his support for Hamas's onslaught of October 7th of last year, in which they brutally massacred some 1,200 mostly civilians, wounded over 4,800 others, to include brutal rape and other atrocities, and kidnapped some 250 individuals, including women, elderly, children, and infants. 101 of them remain in Hamas captivity to date.
طوفان الاقصی که در سال گذشته همین ایام تقریبا انجام گرفت یک حرکت درست منطقی قانونی بین المللی بود و حق با فلسطینی ها بود.
In addition to praising the heinous crimes committed against Israelis alongside dozens of foreign nationals, Khamenei also proclaimed that his country's belligerent strike of over 180 ballistic missiles against Israel was both brilliant and justified.
کار درخشان نیروهای مسلح ما در دو سه شب قبل هم یک کار کاملا قانونی و مشروع بود.
Meanwhile, after President Joe Biden's voiced objection to an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear program drew scathing rebuke, The American leader has stopped short from expanding on his objections publicly as of late, stressing that he does not intend to negotiate the scope and detail of Israel's anticipated retaliation in public.
Would you support Israel striking Iran's oil facilities, sir?
We're in discussion of that. I think that would be a little, anyway.
Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh subsequently expanded on the matter, yet stopped short from alluding to Washington's position.
We're not looking for a wider regional conflict. We're not seeking war with any group or organization or country in the region. We continue to engage the Israelis, very frequently. We are certainly talking to them about their response, but what their response might be, I'm just not going to speculate further on. But we do continue to engage with them, and I'll just have to leave it at that.
Meanwhile, President Biden stressed to reporters that while he does not know whether Israel's retaliatory strike would ultimately lead to an all-out regional war, he does believe one can be avoided. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Separately, if you're blessed by our productions, which are exclusively donation-based, please consider supporting our programs with a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.